Hi, my name is Karl Wolf, and this is my instructional speech. First, I'll introduce my audience. Kyle, Devin, Melissa, Keith, Candy, Adrian, and Styles. I've gathered all you guys together this evening to pass on some information about the new Wolf family toy that I recently purchased. You've all seen the 1997 Stratus 282 FS fishing and skiing boat, and I think you'll agree that she's really a beauty. The boat's 12 years old, but it's been garage kept the whole time and is in still really nice condition. It's a bit flashy for my taste normally, with that bright red metal flake finish, but the red does match the trailer and the truck, so it's a nice combination. It has a big black 150 Evinrude on the back, which is a powerful engine on an 18-foot boat. As the Stratus's website indicates, it's got the power to get skiers up fast and get fishermen from point A to point B as quickly as possible. Hopefully all the adults here will have an opportunity to drive the boat over the next few years, so my talk is going to focus on some water rules and regulations and safe operations of the boat. The state of Florida does not require a license to operate a boat. A boater education class is highly recommended, and I'm going to look into where we could actually take a class like that here in Hillsborough County. This class is required for operators if you're under 21 years old, but if you're over 21, there is no requirement to take the boating class. So that remember, many of the adult drivers that you come across out on the river or the lake may not have had this class. The state does not require an adult to even be on board when a minor is operating, just that the minor have had the safe boating class. All in all, as you do on the highways, you need to be aware that you don't know how much training or experience the other drivers have, so you need to always drive defensively. As far as operating our particular boat, I'm going to cover some basic features in general, but when you actually get on the boat, we'll do some hands-on training behind the wheel. The throttle is held in your right hand. It controls both your speed and whether you're going forward or reverse. Remember that the boat has no brakes. If you're approaching a fixed object, you need to slow down well before you get there, kind of glide in, and be prepared to put that thing in reverse if you find you're coming in too fast. The boat has what we call a power trim feature, which lets you raise and lower the engine via a toggle switch on the same right-hand controller. The boat also has a digital gauge, which gives you a readout and tells you how many feet of water you have below the boat. The boat requires 18 inches of water in order to not run the prop into the sand. The digital readout indicates in tenths of a feet, so you're required to have 1.5 feet, and there's an alarm that goes off on the depth finder at 1.8 feet to give you a warning that you're getting into shallow water. If the water actually gets too skinny, you can use the power tilt to bring the motor up out of the water and keep the prop from hitting the bottom. But remember, the boat itself is going to go aground eventually if you keep getting into shallower and shallower water. So always keep your eyes open to all the water that's approaching. Stay in the marked channels if there are channel markers. This is important. And keep an eye on your depth gauge so you avoid any grounding problems. Along with staying aware of your surroundings, there's the issue of interacting with other boats that you may encounter on the waterways. Good sense and courtesy will usually keep you out of many problems, but remember that when you pass a boat, you want to do so at a safe distance and a safe speed so as to not to kick up such a big wake that you swamp their boat. When approaching a boat that is coming at you, pass as you would on the highway with your left front passing their left front, or port to port. Some quick terminology here. If you're facing forward in your boat, the left side is considered the port, the right side is the starboard, the front is the bow, which is forward, and the back is the stern, and that is aft. I want to go over some specific Florida regulations and laws that are enforced by the Coast Guard, Marine Patrol, Fish and Wildlife, and other local jurisdictions. All Class 2 type boats, of which ours is one, require the following safety equipment on board. You need to have one approved PFD, or personal flotation device, for each person on board, plus one throwable device with a rope attached. Laws also require one B1 type fire extinguisher, one visual distress signal. We have a battery-powered strobe light on our boat, and one sound producing device. We have a CAN type air horn. Children under 6 must have a PFD of proper size on them whenever they're on the boat, even at dock. PFD violations are non-criminal, but can result in fines of $50 to $80 depending on what Florida county you're operating in. BUI, or boating under the influence, is enforced, and the law enforcement officers do not need probable cause to board your boat to check for safety equipment, licenses, or BUI. An intoxicated boater is one with a BAC of .08 or higher, just as it is on the highway. The BAC level is lower for minors operating boats at .02 or higher. BUI convictions do not affect your car driving privileges, but can result in a hefty fine and definitely ruin your day. So discretion is important when it comes to alcohol consumption on the water. Florida says it uses 10 Intoxilizer 8000s in the field for doing field sobriety tests. They're all being carried by Fish and Wildlife, but other agencies may have their own devices for testing for BUI in the field. Refusal to take such a test, as on the highway, can result in a presumption of guilt, and a citation will be issued. In conclusion, I hope you've all learned a few things about the rules of the water, as well as some specific information about our new toy. I hope it'll bring us all many hours of enjoyment, but we've got to keep safety as the #1 priority so a fun day doesn't turn into a tragic one. I look forward to learning more about boating myself, and I will pass all that information on to the rest of you. Thank you.